Okay, so here is my domain controller here. I am going to create two regular users here. You can see under the user folder here, I can right click and go to new and go to user, and I'm going to call this Jenny. And if my user account is just the initial and the last name, then I'm going to have jlewis@perkins.org, and I can set the password here. The password never expire, and I'm going to create another user and go to new user. I'm going to call this one J Jones. So go to displays, w0rd, okay. And I say password never expire. Go to next here. And one of the things I'm also going to do, I'm going to create two user group. I'm going to come over here and say group, and I'm going to call these sales. Going to leave the global and default here. We haven't talked about this, so I don't want to talk about it yet. Go ahead and create another group here. Call it IT. On the IT group, I'm going to add James to that one. See, that's James Jones. You can see how I just typed this initially and picked it up. So now James is a member of IT group. Go to apply. And then on the other group that I created, sales, I'm going to go ahead and add Jenny Lewis over here. You can see Jenny now is a member of sales. So I want to create two folders. Actually, I'm going to say I want to create just one folder here. And here's a folder. And I'm going to call the folder source code. Or let's call it secret let's just call it payment records, something like that. Okay, I want to share this file. So I go to properties here. That's what I was showing you earlier on in the video. I go to sharing. On my advanced sharing here, the name is payment records. And I can give permissions to everyone can read, but I have certain information. I can go to sales group, and I can say everybody in sales group, they can change. Go to IT, anybody in IT group, they have full control. You understand? Then I can apply. You understand what I'm saying? I could say they can apply. Oh, but what if I don't want everybody in IT group to have full control? Maybe the sales record or payment record should be given to the manager. I can just do this. I can still come back here and create another group. Call it new group. Can call it managers. And I can add John to this group. Right? You got it? So add John to this group. So now I have a member here called John. So go back here again. I can call managers now. Okay, here's manager. Manager have full controls. So what I've just done here, I've shared this file for them, right? I've applied, but that's at the control level, sharing level. Over here, I can get more granular, because if in this machine here, depending on who is logged on, the observer is logged on over here, but the observer can come over here and do something like DC, and now he sees payments record, and he can access whatever is in there. But I can actually come back here and do something else. Here I can say, the managers group, and now I'm on my NTFS permission now, just so you know. Managers group, I'm going to narrow down their permission. Okay, I want them to be able, I don't want them to have full control. I want them to be able to modify, but not full control. And in chapter 4, you can read more about what is the difference between full control and modify. Okay, modify allows you to delete other people's job, but if I only give you a right, you cannot delete other people's job, you can only delete your job. You understand what I'm saying? So here I give managers, this, and then I can go over here and say IT will have full control, maybe, and then sales group, I can say they'll be able to read and write. They can delete their own job, but they cannot do other people's stuff. You see how I've kind of like sliced down what they had before. I have limited option on the sharing tab here, but over here I have more granularity. I can even say they can only read only. You understand what I'm saying? So I have more granularity. Whatever I give to them in excess on the sharing tab, I can take it away with the NTF security tab. Here's one more thing I want to show you. On the sharing tab here, I can come back over here and say the same file here, I'm going to hide a new share. And here I'm going to call it receipt. Okay? I'll call this one receipt or salary. Let me use salary, something that's a little confidential. Okay? I can even specify how many users can access it at the same time. Okay? If I say only one person at a time, then come back here and just say one person. Go over here in permission, and I can say I'm only going to give access to these to the managers. And even the managers, they can only read. You understand what I'm saying? They cannot, modify, because we want to keep the integrity of these very tight. You understand? And I can actually go specifically and go to sales, and I say sales, they are actually denied from seeing the receipt. So fine, go for it. Just done that. You understand? And I can come back here and say, IT. I can even give it a name. Say I click OK here. I can add another share, right? And call this one technical or customer info, and do this. Go to IT here, check names, and I said I would like you to just read it as well. Apply. Okay. Look at it. I have shared the same folder, right? But I've given them different permissions on it. If I click apply here and I click OK, click close here, when somebody logs on. If I refresh this one right now, I'm going to refresh it. And now you see customer info, payment, salary, right? It looks like a different folder, isn't it? But it's not different. It's the same folder that I share with different share names, but with this one I give it different permissions. Does that make any sense? So, and this is how I can share the same resources with different names and give different groups different permissions on it. Does that make any sense? So when you look at it, you may not even be able to tell it's the same folder that I'm sharing across to different groups because I'm giving it different share names and every group has different permissions to it. Does that make any sense? So this is how you would easily go ahead and create a share folder. On this as well, and this is the last part before we go, I can also do certain things on it that I won't be able to do on otherwise. Advanced, okay? Over here, I can audit. I can start auditing. I can say, I want to see whenever, say, Jenny, okay, successfully read or whatever, or even write against what? Against this folder called payment records. I can even add condition to it. So this is the cool part of 2016. In 2012 I was about, I use it, for the first time in 2016. I can add condition. I can say whenever this user from this group, a user from this group, member of, okay, or I can actually say not member of, and I can look at my value, and then here I can click see frame value that I want. I can come back and say managers, for example. Okay, whenever a user, Jenny is the user, that's the principal, from a group called managers, whenever he logs on and try to do this, whenever it's not a member of this group, that is a condition. See, now I'm getting really granular. Now, in other words, whenever Jenny performs this operation outside and is not a member of this group, then that's when it's going to hit. If Jenny, however, perform this operation successfully while being a member, you understand what I'm saying? Then that'll be a problem. So how do I do this now? Anytime Jenny is no longer a manager, say Jenny get moved to being a director now. She's no longer in the managers group, and Jenny went back to go and open the files that she used to have access to before, then this log is going to be enacted. Does that make any sense? So you used to be in HR. Now they move you from HR to engineering, for example. And then you want to still go back and be looking at people's payroll. Right? That is outside of your job function now. This is going to trigger. I can even add more condition. I can even say, and, or if you want to, device. When Jenny is using a computer that is not a member of, and I can click over here. So I know, for example, let's say I know Jenny's stuff, Jenny's computer. So this is computer group. And let's say this is Jenny's computer, CA, right? I can come back and say whenever Jenny tries to access this folder and she's not using the company issued system. You understand what I'm saying? So Jenny traveled to her cousin's house and she's trying to use an insecure laptop to access company resources. We also want to know. You see that? So this is kind of really more granular. This is what we call expression-based auditing. I'm not just auditing Jenny whenever she does whatever, anything. What I'm saying is, I only want to audit Jenny whenever certain criteria are met. Otherwise, I don't want to see a bunch of logs. Okay? So this is information I want to share with you. Later on when we meet in the class, one of the other stuff I'm going to be sharing with you for the most part is this quota. Now, there are video of it in your system, and what this quota essentially does is to allow me to say, this is the limit of this somebody can use. I can say, you know what, 20 megabyte, that'll be mean, and say, whenever they reach 10 megabyte, send them a warning. Okay, and I can enter the quota for them. See here, this is not going to work until I come back here and start creating a new entry. And here I'm not picking on Jenny now, but I hope nobody's Jenny in this class. So here's Jenny now, and I can say limit for Jenny is 20 megabyte. And when Jenny gets to 10, send her a warning. And now you can see, now Jenny has this quota limit. If I close this one right now and apply this entry that I've created here, you can see that for the built-in administrator, there's no limit. But for Jenny, there is limit. She hasn't used anything, but she's going to get one warning from here. And one thing I was going to also remember that you should do is, if I ask you to enforce it, then it's very, very important for you to make sure that you check this box. Mistake people often make is they don't check this box and they get their point deducted. Does that make any sense? So if this box is not checked, Jenny can ignore the warning and keep working. But if I check this box and I say apply and click OK, now Jenny's quota will be highly limited. Alright? Thank you guys. See you guys next week.